So first up, there were a lot of rule changes. I say a lot. There were some rule changes in the NCAA today for football. And the biggest one is fake injury timeout. So under the new rule, if medical personnel enter the field to evaluate an injured player after the ball is spotted by the officiating crew for the next play, that player's team will be charged a timeout. If the team does not have any timeouts remaining, a 5-yard delay of game penalty will be assessed. And the injury timeout proposal made by the Rules Committee after many different iterations of this. So, Craig, your thoughts on, is this the best way maybe to attack this issue right now?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't really sat down and thought too much about this like I know a lot of other people have. When it comes to stuff like this, I don't pretend to be like the guiding light that has all the answers. I don't consider myself all that smart. So when it comes to like rule changes and what's best in terms of the possibilities, what you could do differently, I default to those that kind of know that stuff better. I'm curious your thoughts right off the top. I mean, do you have any kind of a strong opinion on it?
I think this is probably the best way to do it because you're talking about after they spot the ball. So now, but here's the thing, it's not completely policeable or enforceable, because if you're saying like, hey, don't fake an injury after they spot the ball, if you're worried about the timing at all, you might be just like, okay, so before they spot the ball, make sure you fall down somewhere else so they don't get charged with a timeout. So there's always a way around things, but at least it's not we're standing around. Oh no, I'm hurt. Help me. I need medical help. And then they, get up and walk him off, and they've stalled a drive.
Yeah, I'm sure Lane Kiffin's already figured out how to abuse this amongst other guys out there. I mean, I see a Brett McMurphy tweet about it in the very first comments, and now players will just take dives before the ball is spotted to slow down a fast-paced offense. This is from a guy named Legion of Orange on Twitter. They should have made it where a player can't come back on the same series if they go out due to injury unless they take a timeout. And see, like, this is what I'm talking about, where I'm not like, I started getting lost in all of the scenario. And
what's up? We outside. Having fun doing what I want, cause you know the sun beating down kinda like a drum. Look how I do it. Look how I do it. Another beautiful day out there, folks. So get out there, but don't forget your sunscreen, UV and I just wanna have a good time. It's all on me. Pleasure's mine. The weatherman said it's the right time, so we gon' get it jumping till the night time. We gon' get it. We gon' get it. We gon' get it. We gon' get it. We outside. Yeah, I might just take a dive with it, feel alive with it, ride with it, cause I'm fly with it. Loud with the trouble, loud with the bass. No clouds in the way, smile on my face. Look how I do it. Look at me, look at me, look at me splash. Look at me, look at me, look at me splash. Look at me, look at me, look at me splash. Look at me, look at me splash.
I just don't consider myself, when it comes to something like this, very good at being like the one that figured out the right way to do it, if that makes sense.
And look, I did like if you're so hurt that you'd collapse, you should be out, right, to recover. You shouldn't have this, miraculous, they put hands on you in the tent and then you arise a healed man, like you're at some sort of revival in the 30s,
Yeah, I mean, something had to be done. And so I'm glad that they're, working towards a solution. But obviously, as we're talking about, there's already loopholes, and how could this not work, and how can this be taken advantage of still? So, I mean, that was one tweet that I saw that pointed that out almost immediately. And so, it's unfortunate that you even had to create this rule because people were bending it so much. But I guess that's also not surprising in this sport, where any rule is going to be bent until it can't be bent anymore by someone somewhere. That's what this sport does. If you can take an advantage somewhere, find an advantage somewhere, slowing down an offense by pretending your ankle's hurt, people are going to do that, and they have been, and to the extent where now you've got to make an actual rule for it. So I'm glad there's some movement towards trying to cure it, but it's like much of the NCAA solutions that immediately it gets put out there, and there's people ready to shoot bullet holes through it immediately, like this tweet. So I'll explore more of, I guess, the conversation back and forth about it, but it does feel like it's not an exact all end-all be-all answer for the problem. So maybe we'll need some more tweaking, but I do think it's a step forward in the right direction.
Yeah, I do. I think there's always going to be things to it. So some other rule changes now on. Once you get to the third overtime of a game, you only have one timeout for the rest of it until a winner is decided, as opposed to one timeout per overtime period.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, the games are too long already. We all know the reason why the games are long, though. It's not timeouts. It's the TV networks, the Lord TV networks.
But now this is at least something they can't use to, like,
let's go to another time. Yeah, but I mean, that's never stopped them.
They'll still shoehorn it in, but at least if you take something away, it'll make it harder.
Now they'll put it between the first play of the drive and the second play of the drive. We got to take this quick time out. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest problem. But I do like that. I mean, that's a way to, I guess, prevent any further delaying of the end of the game, because now you're adding more timeouts into what is already a commercial break-ridden game to begin with. So yeah, that I'm in favor of for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one. When the decision on instant replay is announced, the referee will only say the call on the field is upheld or overturned. The terms confirmed and stands will not be used. So, synonyms.
Say that again.
So instead of saying confirmed or stands, they'll only say upheld or overturned. They won't say, confirmed or whatever.
Yeah, I guess I never really pay that much attention to that. But I guess it does make more sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
To clear up the language a little bit, I suppose. I didn't realize that was even much of a topic, but okay. Yeah. I mean, that seems a little clearer, I guess.
Yeah. So no offensive player can be in the direct line of the snap to the potential kicker within the frame of the snapper on punts for formation to qualify as a scrimmage kick. So I guess they have to be off to the side if they're going to fake it or whatever. I don't know what that.
They start doing like the NFL, like, hey, we're about to onside kick this. Be ready. Are we doing that now?
Yeah,
no.
I guess so. If any player in a kickoff return makes a T signal with his arms during the kick, the team gives up the right to return the kick and the play will be whistled dead. That happens a lot. I see that a lot anyway. I guess but now I guess it's official. Let's see. Nothing else is really all that. Let's see. Oh, the 12 or more play. Okay, after the 2-minute timeout in either half, if the defense commits a foul with 12 or more players on the field and all the players participate in the play, the officials would administer a 5-yard penalty. The offensive team would have the option to reset the game clock back to the time at the start of the play. If the 12th player is attempting to leave the field and has no influence on the play, the defensive team will be penalized 5 yards with no adjustment to the game clock.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you remember it was it Oregon last year?
Yeah,
Who did it?
It was the
Oregon against Ohio State.
No,
it was against Ohio State before.
It was the
in the regular season
game. Yeah.
I think it was in the regular season where they did that to him. Yeah, so they ran 12 men onto the field, and the 5 yards didn't matter. It just the time went off. So
it makes sense. That was a big deal. Dan Lanning had found a loophole, and so they're closing the loophole basically. And it was a brilliant move by him, but everybody had the asterisk of it was a brilliant move. It was totally legal, but it probably shouldn't be legal to do that. You just found that loophole, and so it makes sense that now they're gonna close that bad boy down. But kudos to him for obviously a brilliant decision in the moment, and intentionally putting 12 guys out there. Just that was genius stuff.
You know what's funny about that? Because in the moment, because you don't want to get a penalty on the last drive, that's your instinct. Is oh, damn it, Lanning, idiot, 12 guys on the field. And then the time ticks off the clock and everybody's like, hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
That wasn't an accident.
Yeah. And then you're watching Mario Cristobal run the end of the game. You're hoping that there would be some genius behind it. It's no, it's just really actual stupidity ongoing for that example. But yeah, I mean that I didn't pay a lot of attention to this coming up in terms of what all the topics were, but now that we're kind of throwing them out there, I mean, this is a lot of stuff that was a big talking point last year. And so that play in particular was, I mean, obviously a huge play in the season that was widely talked about. And now they're taking care of that one, but Dan Lanning will always have that one to have on the resume and just the YouTube reel and whatever else. It was brilliant in the moment for sure.
And finally, FCS teams can use helmet communication now. So,
I mean, that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I guess there's reasons as to why that wasn't the case initially, but yeah, I mean, that should be the case across the board if you can afford to do it. And yeah, I think that's just a logical next step. I thought that it would probably be pretty successful. We haven't wrapped around and talked to coaches again, I guess, enough to, like, when we've talked to coaches, it's been more about like kind of what's going on currently, but not so much some of the stuff maybe they changed last year. So when it comes to helmet comms, I feel like we haven't probably rolled back around and talked too much about how that worked out for folks. But I think the couple times we have, like, they seem happy with it. Like, you had to work out some kinks initially, but I just think it just makes too much sense to not have that in the game at this point. So yeah. Go ahead and give the FCS their shot at it as well. And I think that'll be, beneficial for them.
Yeah.